The triggering of Article 50 now is started a 2-year process of a lot of consultation and discussion. The key areas that we are interested in and concerned about as our profession are the skills debates, the access to migrant workers and the status of migrant workers in the United Kingdom today, which we believe needs to be affirmed, and thirdly about employment rights and employment law. We've been researching all the time around the labour market, and particularly since the Brexit vote, about what is happening to migrant workers in this country today. And we can already see that there are concerns about migrant workers, EU migrant workers, leaving the country or being less interested in coming to the United Kingdom. So first and foremost, we want to make sure that their status is assured and that we understand what are going to be the rules, if you like, about access to migrant talent in the future. We've also been doing skills research, so understanding what is the nature of skills that we look at today and are starting to think about for the future in a changing world of work, and that we are closely involved in the discussions around things like employment rights and employment legislation, and the wider debate that is not just about Brexit, but how do we create good working environments with good work where people are well looked after and their rights as employers and individuals are properly respected. And those are all things which we believe in strongly and we want to continue to promote as we go through this process of Article 50. One of the things that we recognise is that we are an international body and we have a very strong and long history in Ireland as well. So we need to make sure that we're supporting the debate from the Irish perspective as well. Things like hard borders are of course great concern both to the United Kingdom and to Ireland. And of course it's about movement of goods and services as well as access to labour markets on both sides of that border. So there's a lot to be thought about in the international context, and particularly in the frame of reference of Ireland, which is such a strong history working together with the United Kingdom. For policymakers, our first call is to really confirm the status of migrant workers in this country today, particularly EU migrant workers, of course. Because there is some uncertainty. We can already see concerns of EU migrant workers, some thinking about leaving and perhaps fewer thinking about coming here, and yet we know how important they are to so many sectors in this country. So that's the first thing. The second thing will be, of course, about employment rights and legislation, and really understanding the facts behind that, and what do we need to create to make sure we're properly preserving the rights of individuals and workers, but also keeping and maintaining the flexibility that we've enjoyed in this country in terms of our labour markets, which have been very beneficial to organisations everywhere. So it's that balance, and we're very determined that we make sure that that balance is maintained. For HR professionals, I think the first thing, which is what we've been saying since the Brexit vote, is to make sure that we do understand the nature of our workforces today. Where are our migrant workers, how are they positioned, and then of course look at it in terms of a longer term time frame. So real strategic workforce planning. What are the capabilities we're going to need in the future, and what are our options in terms of the access to skills and talent that we're going to need? How do we do a better job of building skills and talent? How do we work better with the educational systems and apprenticeship frameworks and all these other mechanisms by which we can maximise the use of our skills and talent in this country, as well as what we look to in terms of migrant labour for the future. So those are very clear and obvious things. Secondly, that we make sure that we really do reinforce these ideas of inclusion and the value that we place on diversity of our workforces and creating safe working environments for all. And finally, that we are really working closely with management on these things, the business leadership, so that there's a clear strategic understanding of these issues right across the businesses and organisations that we work in. As the CIPD, we are first of all making sure that we have a strong voice as a profession in these areas. Secondly, that we are supporting our membership, because now is the time when the more that we share, the more we connect, and the more we discuss together, then the stronger we will be as individuals and as organisations. So it's very important that we listen to each other and we share our concerns and share our opportunities around the future in a post-Brexit world. Brexit, amongst other things that are changing in and around us in the future of work, is a real time of a call to arms for our profession, making sure we're building great organisations where people are engaged, they're included, their skills are developed, they see opportunities, and all of those other things which we know are vital to building successful and sustainable businesses for the future. Brexit is another reason to do these things, but if we can use perhaps the background of Brexit to reinforce these ideas across businesses everywhere, then that will be to all of our good and certainly help to grow the status and the standing of our profession.